This week, Tim gets a look at some really small solutions from DeWALT.
We figure out whatever this thing is from Makita and see if Ingersoll Rand can dethrone Milwaukee.
This is your Power Tool Week in Review. Today's episode is sponsored by Simply Safe. Head to simplysafe.com/belts and boxes to learn more. Ohio Power Tool. Pro Tools, the best prices.
And Skill, the tools to do the job, the technology to do it better.
Welcome back, Power Tool fans. I'm Rob.
And I'm Sarah, and we have a supersized episode this week, and it all starts over at Shoptoolreviews, where Tim opened up a present from the good folks at DeWALT. Earlier this week, they sent out a special Tough System 2.0 box with 3 new atomic tools inside. We got one too, and these things are comically small, which is a good thing when you're working in tight spaces, but you still need a lot of power. And according to Tim, they're living up to the hype.
But these are very impressive for the size. As I mentioned, less than 4 pounds for these and less than 5 inches long. And this little impact driver is just absolutely tiny. So very handy to carry that around and still do the amount of work they'll put out.
Tim says he's planning a full review for each tool, so be sure to sub so you don't miss them.
Something big is going down this week at TTC, and by big, we mean big. This is the Ingersoll Rand W9000 series 1-inch, 20-volt, 6-inch extended high torque cordless anvil impact wrench. And trust me, it's earned a name that long. The team at TorqueTestChannel had to build a whole new rig just to test this ridiculous thing, and the results were pretty amazing. And they should be. IR claims to bring a mind-bending 2,200 foot-pounds of tightening torque and 3,000 foot-pounds of nut-busting torque. But that power doesn't exactly come in a tiny little box. This piece is over 26 inches long and weighs in at nearly 13 pounds with batteries. But if TTC has taught us anything, it's that the only true testament of power are the results you get when you test every tool the same way. And if this one even does a half-decent job, it might just push Milwaukee's 1-inch D handle right off the top of the hill. To find out if it did, head over to TorqueTestChannel.
The boys at OZToolTalk got a special package delivered from Total Tools this last week. This time they found an all-new Metabo Track Saw inside. This is the Metabo KT18LTX 66BL plunge cut track saw. It has a cutting depth of 66 millimeters, which is, let's say 2 feet.
That's not 2 feet.
Okay, then how deep is 66 millimeters? I'm just kidding. It's like 2 9/16 inch, which is great for a 6.5 inch blade. Now, we actually have an older Metabo track saw here, but ours isn't cordless. The brushless motor on the Metabo runs on their 18-volt battery platform, which is part of the CAS or Cordless Alliance system, so you can use any CAS battery on this saw. And of course, it's packed with features that just scream German engineering. Look at that depth adjustment. It's a variable speed saw from 2250 to 5000 RPM. It has an adjustable fit on the guide rails for maximum precision, remote control for the vac, fast brake, viewing window, the list goes on and on. Now, we had a hard time finding the guy for sale here in the States, but it's out there for around $469. But before you pull the trigger, be sure to watch OZToolTalk first.
Our buddy Kenny over at Protoolreviews has been MIA for the last few weeks, but he's back, and he said he was dealing with a common medical leave. But we're glad he's back and healthy, and his first order of business was to try out the new Climbing the Mountain challenge that was created previously by Josh. And to do the mountain justice, he chose 2 flagship impacts from the likes of Milwaukee and Flex. The challenge involves racing to drive in a series of really large lag bolts and screws in an attempt to crown the king of the mountain. These 2 rivals are both well equipped to take on the task, perhaps too well equipped, because rarely do you see 2 competitors this close. The results are very likely to surprise you and probably piss you off a little bit. For the full climb, head over to Protoolreviews.
Your hair looks different.
Yeah, it's because we had to record this a week early. Today's episode is brought to you by Simply Safe, an easy-to-use customizable home security system that's not only the most up-to-date tech, but it's backed up with a reliable service team.
Everyone's property and security needs are different. Simply Safe allows you to easily design a system that best fits your space and ships it right to your door.
Now that we've moved our studios out to my home, we're slowly turning into a power tool warehouse, whether I want to or not, so keeping our property secure is important. Mainly from neighbors who want to borrow power tools. So when Simply Safe offered to help, we jumped at the chance.
We ordered their base station and several of their sensors, which they have to cover every window, room, and door. We also received a bunch of useful accessories, including smoke detectors, water sensors, and several camera options.
Setup was really quick and easy. We put the base station in the central location and then installed all the sensors. They also sent us one of their new wireless outdoor security cameras, which has an easy to remove rechargeable battery, so you don't even need an outlet.
Since we moved down here, we've unfortunately had our make or break studio flood 4 times. Now we have water sensors to warn us if it's happening again.
And thanks to all the other sensors, my home just feels safer. But of course, a bunch of sensors are worthless without reliable monitoring. The SimpliSafe interactive monitoring service is always on and will call the police if it's alerted to anything. And starting at only 50 cents a day, the service is very affordable.
And of course, there are a ton of convenience features like digital door locks, doorbell camera, and these cool fobs that make it easier to come and go.
And best of all, if today you visit simplisafe.com/belts and boxes, you can get at least 30% off your own custom security system.
Mark over at MarkThomasBuilder has quite an impressive collection of Milwaukee lights, ranging from a Milwaukee flashlight all the way up to the popular pack-out light. I feel like lights don't get their fair moment in the sun.
What does that mean?
Fortunately, Mark shed some light on his favorite lighting solutions from Milwaukee Tool, and after watching his video, I can confidently say my day was made brighter for it.
What is wrong with you?
I'm just glad someone is finally detailing the lighter side of Milwaukee.
So we're clear, I didn't write this.
Oh, so you think you have an exclusive on dad jokes?
I'm a dad.
Hi, Dad. I'm Sarah.
For a closer look at Mark's favorite lights, head over to MarkThomasBuilder.
You're a MarkThomasBuilder.
Okay, while Sarah's brain resets, the disembodied hands over at Tools and Stuff has something unusual this week. A Makita tool that we actually have here in the States. That's the Makita cordless rebar tying tool, an 18-volt replacement for raw fingers and broken backs. This is a highly specialized tool for a very specific task. We got a chance to try it ourselves way back in World of Concrete 2019, and it was oddly satisfying using a big tool to tie adorable bows on rebar. Without this tool, you're often stuck walking from cross to cross, bending down, then twisting on the wire by hand, and I've yet to meet anyone who loves that job. If it's a job you have, this is a really great solution to many different problems. For a very detailed look at how the tool works, head over to Tools and Stuff.
We got to see some peak Vince this week as he found a bunch of Bosch reps anxious to show off their new ProFactor tools, but they didn't seem ready for Vince. He takes his time hearing their pitch for some of his favorite Bosch tools, including the SDS Plus 1 1/4 inch rotary hammer, the SDS Max 1 9/16 rotary hammer, and the strong arm circular saw. And while they were ready with their pitch, Vince had some hard questions for them that they couldn't quite answer. At one point, a desk hood didn't really do its job, and while Vince tried to let the guy off the hook, the rep went another way.
We do have a little bit of particulate. What happened there?
That's interesting. Maybe it wasn't pushed down.
I think it was operator error.
Yeah.
He threw me right under the bus.
Struggles aside, Vince does go on to demo his 3 favorite tools, and just like the rest of the new Bosch ProFactor line, they still look very promising. Hopefully Vince will bring a few back to the VCG testing grounds for a proper review really soon.
If you guys weren't around for our 100,000 sub live show, you missed the introduction of our new YouTube members program called Production Crew. Members get to meet with Sarah and I on a members only video each week where they join us in our process of choosing the content we'll use on our upcoming show. By adding more people to the process, we had hoped to find new channels and content that we might have otherwise missed. And this week, a Production Crew member named Christian pointed us to this guy. This is Troy, and his YouTube channel is called Bantro Builds. He's another tool reviewer in New Zealand, where at this point I can only assume they're growing them on trees. In this particular video, he compares his Makita LXT 36V X2 track saw to the all-new Makita XGT 40V track saw. Once again, another Kiwi with more Makita than me. Troy is a builder apprentice, and he started his channel specifically to inspire others to get into the trades. And what better way to do that than to show off some power tools? In this case, we get a direct comparison between the features and ergonomics of the LXT and the XGT, with a full performance review still in the works. Now, last time we found a small YouTube channel that was creating great content, we asked you guys to go give his channel a chance and sub if you liked it. You guys gave him 600 subscribers. Today, he's actually at 900. So I was hoping you guys would be kind enough to do that again this week with Troy. If you love Makita stuff, head over to Bantro Builds and give the guy a shot at a sub.
There were so many great videos this week, but we're running out of time, so we're going to run through a couple honorable mentions, including Dave over at ManCaverTools that was so confident in the capabilities of the Milwaukee M12 drill driver that he tested it against a group of 18-volt competitors. Brian at WorkshopAddict got his hands on the DeWALT Extreme 12-volt subcompact 5-in-1 drill kit and seems pretty excited about it. And Todd over at ProjectFarm set out to discover which screwdriver set is worth your money, something we all could use.
And last of all, I have a weird addiction to tools I definitely don't need, and the boys over at Hayes Machinery found another one for me. This time, they're testing the Motor AS600 Multi-Pro Carrier, an absolute monster from Germany that's built to take on the worst brush your property can muster up. And I'm telling you, I have some really crazy brush here.
You don't need that.
Says you!
Okay, we've had enough for today.
Thanks to Simply Safe for sponsoring this video. Go to simplysafe.com/beltsandboxes to learn more. I also want to thank Skill and Ohio Power Tool for sponsoring this episode. Guys, we couldn't do it without you.
If you liked this episode, give it a thumbs up, and if you loved it, we hope that you subscribe.
Do something kind for someone else this weekend, and we'll see you next week.